What's going on YouTube? I'm E and this is Simply Put Scents. Today I'm going to be comparing the new Dior Homme Sport 2017 version. And I'll be comparing it to 2012's version and 2008's version. Technically, the 2008 version that I have is from 2011, but regardless, it's still the vintage juice. And this way we'll be able to compare the new to the old. Interesting, right? I'm really curious to see how all three of these fragrances smell and compare to each other. I got the 125 ml, and shockingly, it cost under $100. Very shocked by that. Interesting. So guys, here's the bottle, here's the box. There was the box. Compared to the 2008 version, compared to the 2012 version. The 2012 version and this version, the difference is very negligible to the eye. That red part in the cap area, it's a little bit brighter than the older version. So as you know guys, in my first impressions videos, if a fragrance is doing a good thing on my skin, it's gonna get the lady. Now if a fragrance is not really working on my skin and it doesn't really work for me, well, it's gonna get the womp womp. And the womp womp goes something like this. Yep. That right there is the womp womp. So hopefully DHS 2017 will not be a womp womp. Please let it not be a womp womp. And we're gonna go from old to less old to most recent. The older version, 2 sprays. The second most recent. The new version, that red collar is striking. And here we go, 2017 version. Right there. I love the Dior Homme sprayers, guys. Dior sprayers, period. Absolutely awesome. So I'm gonna let these air out. The oldest version. The oldest version, fresh, crisp, lemony, very nice stuff. You can definitely smell the bergamot, you can definitely smell the grapefruit. You can also smell some ginger, which is really nice also. So now I'm going to compare it to 2012. 2012, lemon is dialed back a little bit. Iris, definitely present. And the ginger seems to be hyped up a little bit to me. It's a lot more noticeable in my opinion. The iris is very nice. A lot of people don't like it, but I find that this is still a very masculine scent regardless of that iris note. The 2012 version of Dior Homme Sport was actually my preferred version of the two before the 2017 version. It's just such a classy scent, but it's so versatile. In my opinion, this is a great indoor scent. Awesome indoor scent. Climate control type of fragrance in my opinion, because it really doesn't last. Like wind will kill it, but it just smells so good to me. I'm really curious to see how the 2017 version stack up with these two. Interesting. There's no more iris. It's a little bit more spicy than the other two scents also. There's supposed to be blood orange in this, and I could definitely smell that this has got a little bit more of an orange style, orange flavor in the opening, whereas the 2012 version comes across very irisy with a little bit of citrus, not as much as the iris though. And the 2008 version comes across extremely citrus at the top. Very little in the way of spice coming through other than the ginger. The 2017 version, I am definitely catching some of that pink pepper which I'm a big fan of. I love pink pepper and fragrances. Really nice stuff. And I gotta admit, guys, it almost comes across a little bit more modern. Yeah, this is definitely gonna get the lady. Right off the bat, guys, I can tell that this one, the 2017 version, has absolutely no cedar. There's no cedar in this one compared to the other two. The other two are very cedar heavy, which kind of marries those two fragrances, even though this one has much more of an iris and this much more of a citrus vibe. That's pretty interesting, but the cedar kind of keeps them connected. This, however, has absolutely no cedar, no iris, and what keeps, I think, this version connected to these two, I only think the citrus. There is also a creaminess to this fragrance, which usually is the sign of sandalwood, which is pretty nice. That creaminess does make it a little bit more interesting. I'm curious to know if that pink pepper is going to keep this fragrance lasting a little bit longer. And this, of course, very classy, beautiful, irisy. Out of the three, the 2017 is coming off my skin the truest, the strongest. See, already this fragrance is dying down a little bit. It's calming down. Wow, the 2017 version is standing strong. Don't get me wrong, it's not a beast, but it's literally like it's hopping off my skin with a lot more intensity. I can smell it a lot stronger than the other two. I must admit, guys, in my opinion, the 2012 version is the most interesting. It's the most unique out of the three. It has the least intensity of all of these three scents, but it has the most character, I would say. I just find it extremely unique. But that 2012 version, to me, comes across extremely interesting and memorable compared to the other two. It stands out to me. But this one is extremely fresh, extremely true to the summertime. To me, the 2012 version is a lot more versatile of a scent. Even though it doesn't perform, it's a fragrance you could literally wear all year round. And it has like a scent profile that matches any season without any issue. That's one of the things I like about the 2012 version. And the 2012 version, in my opinion, gets so many compliments. Like,
chicka wow wow. Chicka wow wow. Chicka bow bow chicka wow wow.
It's one of the most complimented fragrances that I've worn from the Dior Homme line. A lot of people think Dior Homme Parfum is pretty good, but Dior Homme Sport in the summertime gets a lot of love. A lot of love. But I could see 2017 getting love too. It's a step back as far as an interesting fragrance goes, but I think it's a step forward as far as like what a lot of men want to wear. And it's definitely got a lot more kick than the other two. So that was an issue for a lot of people with the other Dior Homme Sports. This version definitely comes off the skin a lot more. So they hyped up other elements of the fragrance while making it less memorable, making it a little less interesting and unique. And I guess that's a trade-off, you know? I do prefer, though, the 2012 version as far as like a scent that I would want to wear to attract or just to stand out a little more. I'm actually impressed, not too bad. I was expecting a little bit of a disappointment. I was hoping not to womp this fragrance, and thank God I didn't have to. Thank you. Now, of course, up there you're gonna see how long this lasted on my skin. I'll give you the whole detailed report as far as the fragrance's longevity and the sillage and the projection. It's definitely projecting. So yeah, I really like this. Like, I would say 1, 2, 3. That's my personal take, but hey, that's just what I think. Anyway, I would love to know what you guys think of this fragrance if you smelled it yet. Is this a fragrance you're curious about? I would love to test this under more hotter conditions, but so far I could definitely say that it will perform better than the other two fragrances, which in my opinion is a big deal, huge deal. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below Like this video if you appreciated it, and of course, subscribe if you haven't. I'm E, and this is Simply Put Scents. And I'm Simply OT. Peace. We move on to the Warm Weather Conference's Spring Division to find out the outcome of one of the more highly anticipated matchups of the tournament, bar none, as Sauvage collided with Chanel's Bleu de Chanel. Considered the battle of the bestsellers or the generic bowl, these two titans went at it to find out which fan favorite was most favored in this year's Frag-Offs. Say that 5 times in a row. It was a very tight affair, and with the score of 78 to 75,